Welcome to the dawn of the team-based shooter. So apparently a bunch of companies got really tired of making MOBAs and decided to start making shooters. That's cool. I guess they figured Team Fortress 2 was getting a bit old. You've likely heard of Overwatch at this point, but it's been in beta for like, a couple months. That's old news. A game you might not have heard of, however, is Paladins. From Hi-Rez Studios, the makers of SMITE. And holy crap is this game fun! I actually enjoy it a bit more than Overwatch. And yes, I'm prepared to be crucified for saying that. But I'm not here to compare the two games. I'm here to talk about Paladins. The game is a first-person shooter that's almost MOBA-esque with a bit of a card game thrown in. Talk about your genre benders. Your team will attempt to capture a point on the map to spawn a siege engine. You'll then either escort your siege engine to the enemy base, or defend your base from the enemy siege engine. Which one kinda depends on how much your team sucks. Cause it's never your fault, am I right? Stop noobing it up, everyone else! When starting up a game, you'll choose whether you want to do a co-op game against AI opponents, or do a regular game of 5 versus 5. Once you get to the lobby, you'll choose a character. At the time of writing this, there were only 8 champions to choose from: Barrick, Casey, Fernando, Buck, Grok, Pip, Ruckus, and Skye. Each has their own playstyle, which I'll go over in a minute, but once you pick your character for that round, you're stuck with them, so don't f it up! But if SMITE is any indication, there will definitely be more champions to choose from, and more will be introduced often. But don't quote me on that. Once you're in-game, a capture point will spawn. You'll want to hop on your trusty steed and get over there as fast as possible. Once there, you and the enemy will compete in a little King of the Hill action. Just make sure you're not the first one there and your team is behind you, otherwise you'll probably get your ass kicked. Whichever team wins the point gets a siege engine, which will then book it over to the enemy's base. Once there, you'll have to break through 2 gates and then break down the door to your enemy's vault. You know, I'm not entirely sure why this game is called Paladins. Seems like the name Vault Destroyers would be better. Whatever, I'm not in marketing. As for the heroes you'll be playing, let's take a quick look at each. Each class has their main weapon and 3 special skills at their disposal. Barrick is your engineer type, which can lay down a turret and put up barriers. Cassie is a ranger type who shoots arrows and can scout out enemy positions. Fernando is a tank type class that wields a flamethrower, can launch fireballs, and also has a shield. Buck is a shotgun wielder, hey, I just got that, who can heal himself, leap smash into enemies, and throw up a stone wall when needed. Grok is your healer with the ability to throw down healing totems, but also wielding a lightning staff that can chain between enemies. Pip is your crazy rodent type, wielding a grenade launcher with the ability to throw grenades and lay down a snaring ooze. At least I hope that's ooze. No. Ruckus is a crazy gnome in a mech with dual machine guns. So you know, the norm. And Skye is your stealthy, poison-bladed assassin-ness. Now, you may remember that I mentioned Paladins has a bit of a card game thrown in. Well, here's how it works. Whenever your character levels up in a match, you will be given a choice between 3 cards. Each one may give you different stats, passive abilities, additional effects to your current abilities, etc. Depending on the type of game you play, these cards will be randomized, or you'll build a deck of cards to choose from. I can see this really adding a bit of strategy to the mix, while also keeping things a bit random. You can get new cards from reward boxes that you'll get for leveling up your account, winning matches, or throwing down some cold hard cash or in-game gold. Anyway, at this time, that's really it. There's currently only 1 game type, and I only saw 2 maps, but honestly, it's still fun because the push-pull battle between the 2 teams really does feel MOBA-esque-y. And you know what? I bet there will be more game types and maps added in as the game gets closer to release. But don't quote me on that. You know what? Don't quote me on anything ever. Make sure to level up your MMO knowledge by visiting MMORPG.com, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and by following us on social media. To catch up on the week's biggest MMO news, watch our latest MMO FTW. And to see if there's a better MMO out there for you, watch one of our latest First Impressions videos. Thanks for watching.